Hello, Shalom Aleichem, welcome back. In the first video in this series on Pirkei Avos, I failed to mention that in the description below I have included some links to editions of Pirkei Avos that might be of interest to you if you don't already own a copy of the text. Of course, the text can be found online, sefaria.org, places like this. So it's not an uncommon text. In fact, of all the Mishnaic or rabbinic literature, this might be the most widely known text. Okay, so if you're interested in any of that, just follow the links below, and if that interests you, go for it. Okay, Maseches Avos, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Beis, second Mishnah. Shimon Hatzadik Haya Mishyore Knesses Hagadola. Shimon Hatzadik, Shimon the saint, or the righteous. Haya, he was Mishyore, from the remnant, or the remainder, Knesses Hagadola, of the great assembly. He was from the last of them. Hu Haya Omer. He used to say, or he would say, Al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. On three things does the world stand. Ha'olam, the world, omed, stand. On three things does the world stand. So that's interesting. He should say it like this: three things. So we know that in anybody that is well read or has even passingly looked at ancient Greek literature or Mediterranean literature knows that the tripod was a potent symbol for the Mediterranean world. There are those scholars that want to attribute this idea of the tripod in Greek iconography and in their literature. Especially if you look at the Iliad by Homer or the Odyssey. It's also when describing the feats of heroes or statesmen amongst the historians like Herodotus or Thucydides. The tripod always finds its way into the story. So it's an interesting literary device. Now, there are those historians or critics who want to attach a potential meaning to the tripod. I don't know, it could be conjecture, but they want to say the tripod is symbolic of sort of the three virtues in the Greek worldview. Wealth, what they call political discourse, which just means the ability to persuade, to argue rationally. And finally, the third one, which would be political authority. These were three virtues that, if you look at Greek literature, classical literature, you see that these three issues, three themes, run throughout the literature and frequently are the ingredients to making a great man in their cultural worldview. So it's interesting that Shimon HaTzadik should also speak of a tripod, so to speak. Al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. On three things does the world stand. So what are those three things? Al HaTorah, on the Torah, on godly wisdom, on Torah wisdom. Al ha'avoda, on religious duty, religious obligation, religious activity. V'al gemilus chasadim, and on needless kindness, on baseless kindness. Not kind because we owe it to somebody, or kind because we have our own reasons, but baseless kindness just because the act itself is kind. Doesn't matter if we're kind to a rich person or a poor person, somebody we like, somebody we dislike. We are called to behave in a kind manner and do kind things to people, to all created things in general. There are those that want to, in certain rabbinic passages, that even want to apply this to animals. certainly are certain halachas that seem to apply this to animals as well. Okay, so again, if the idea that Shimon HaTzadik is, if the idea of the classical tripod is correct, and it represents something of the Greek worldview, again, of wealth, of political, of a persuasive discourse, the ability to argue, and of political authority, and that's kind of what their worldview was based on. It's quite possible. It is conjecture on my part. That Rabbi Shimon HaTzadik was offering a counterpoint of what the Jewish worldview rests on, what the Torah worldview is. And of course, again, that is on Torah, the religious wisdom, godly wisdom, on avoda, on the religious activity, worship, al gimus chasadim, and on baseless kindness, our obligation to simply be kind to each other for no other reason than that is what is good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. We will see. I hope to see you again with the next video. Okay, thank you. Kol tov.